Today I'm going to be taking a deep dive into the Aliencell X1 diode laser. So this is a brand new laser to the market. It is unlike any other diode laser that's on the market. And I've had the beta machine for a couple of months now. The beta testers were myself, Patrick, and Jeremy, all of us from the LMR. We had the original beta machines, the original beta software, and now I've got the retail version behind me. So this one just came in about 2 weeks ago, and I've been doing a bunch of testing with this machine. And I've done everything from graphics to photos and so on. But I want to take a deep dive in today into all of the features of this machine. So I did do a first look video. I'll put a link down in the description if you want to see the unboxing and the setup and all that kind of stuff. That's great, but that's not what today's video is going to be about. Today we're going to talk about all of the functions of their software and how well this machine works with the software that they have. And now it's not quite ready for lightburn. Lightburn does have two of these machines, and the developers over at Lightburn are working with the engineers over at Aliencell, and they are developing it. It does work with Lightburn right now, but not perfectly. But I have come to find out that their software does seem to be better if you want to use all of the functions of this machine. And I've always been against third-party software, but I'm not with this because it is so simple to use. So today we're going to look at all the features, and then we're going to talk about the software, and then we're going to actually run a project so you can get a hands-on idea about how this machine performs. All right, so let's talk a little bit about the laser itself. So over here, as you can see, we've got the air quality, and this is always going to be high for me. Right now it's at 42, so it's okay if you're all the way up to like 400. That's the air quality outside the laser machine. So it's not the inside. Right under this side over here, down under the bottom, is the air quality sensor. So it's on the outside of the machine. I'm sure that some of you are going to want to know about how big this is. So I'll measure it from the back of the air exhaust. It's 33 inches from back to front. And then from side to side, we've got right at 35 inches on here. Plus, you're going to need some extra room for the air assist over there. So I'm going to say you need to be about 44. So this table that it's on is 29 inches wide, and it is, I believe, it's 4 feet wide. So pretty sure it is anyway. On the bottom, underneath here, the legs are right about here. So they have full coverage on this table right here. So even though it hangs off front and back, this table works just perfectly for it. One of the things I really like about this is the exhaust system on here. So if you just press this button, it will release the exhaust. And this comes out, and you see it's got filters inside here. I'm going to change those filters to MERV 6 filters. I'm going to cut some MERV 6 for those. But here you can see the contacts are on both sides. So you could have it exhaust out the left or out the right, whichever way fits your need. And then when you're ready, just put it in like that, snap it up into position, and it's good to go. Let's take a look at it from the front. So if we open the door, you'll see that it lights up. And inside here, you've got your honeycomb. I do have the honeycomb option. So this is an option. It does come with the standard knife bed like you get with a CO2. And that's what all of these little grooves are back here. So you put your knife beds in, and if you've got a vacuum like I do, little portable vacuum, this one will vacuum right in between those knife beds to get all of your debris out. But you can also just pull on this and you'll see that now I have access to the table down below. And I'm guessing that I can just pull this drawer all the way out. And in the back, there are two big magnets there. And as long as I put a piece of metal over those magnets, it should fire the laser. So that gives us a little bit of extra work area here. This is a really heavy duty honeycomb that's in here. And there you can hear how it locks in place. And you just heard it beep. That means that it's secure and the door switch is activated. Up in the top, there are two cameras, which you can't see here, but let me see if I can move this camera. Right here and right here are two cameras that are stitched together. And then inside the machine, there's a third camera way up here, up there in the front corner. Everything inside here is fully enclosed, as you can see, and it operates on linear rails in every direction. One of the nice things about this is that you can move this by hand, and it's very easy to clean. So if you have to clean your lens or whatever the case may be, everything is simple for cleaning. Now, I did remove this cover here, and Jeremy from the LMR HTL Customs made a file for me for a new cover. So this is the new file that Jeremy made. I popped off the original one and put this one on. And this is a MERV6 filter, and that'll keep any soot or debris from getting into the fans on here. On the left side here, you have a magnetic focusing tool. And on the right side is your power and your air assist. So if we pull these off, just to give you a quick demonstration, and I should have turned the machine off before I did that, but I didn't. We pull down the lever on the side over here, and the entire module comes right out. And once you've got the module out, you can just pop this off and clean your lens. Very, very nice design. So when you're talking about lens cleaning, you know, it's something that you can do in about 3 minutes time. And I don't think there's any other laser on the market that works that quickly. When you're done, you just put it back in place, grab this lever, which is kind of hard, lock it up in place, put your power cable back in. Now, I can't see what I'm doing, so let me take a look. All right, I'll do it blindly. There we go. That's back in. And then we put our air line back on, and we are ready to move again. On this side, you can see I've got my air pump plugged in right there. And I've also got the key and no other wires. Right now, I'm operating this on wireless on the network. So there is the air pump. You can see that blue light is solid. That is the Bluetooth. So it is connected by Bluetooth right now. And it does come with these magnets, as you can see here. If I pull this out, then I've got a magnet that is used for the honeycomb. If I put this back into the receptor, now this magnet is used by the knife bed. So it's a multi-use magnet. One is for the knife bed, other is for the honeycomb. Looking inside the machine, you'll see here we've got these 4 are fire sensors. There are also a matching set of 4 in the back. So that's always watching your job. And there are also QR codes for them around the entire bed on the inside. That's for your camera. You can do a camera alignment directly from the control panel without having to put any material down. So it does the alignment based on those QR codes that are inside the machine. All right, let's talk about the software for a few minutes. Now, as all of you know, I am a big fan of Lightburn, and I'm not going to abandon it, but I really do like the Alienspace software for controlling this machine because of all of the features that it has. So I'll be doing all of my designs in Lightburn, exporting them as SVGs, and then importing them into the Aliencell or the Alienspace software. So let's take a look at the Alienspace software real quick. And here we go. So we now have, this is the home screen for the Aliencell and Alienspace. You'll see that I created an account over here, Hobby Guy. You don't need to create an account, but I did want to. So I created an account, and now I'm going to come up to the top right here, and I can either do open project or new project, one or the other. I'm just going to grab this one here that I brought in a couple hours ago. I'll double click on that. And there you can see, if you need to know if you're connected, which you will, up here is the machine. So you'll see that I am connected to the machine, and I'm connected via Wi-Fi. There are no USB cables running to this right now. It's just the Wi-Fi. And that's the way I'm going to run it. My cable that I used, my cable is, it's a good cable, but it's a long cable, and it didn't seem to work well with it. So I tried the cable that came with the Aliencell. It's about a 5-foot or so cable, and it worked perfectly. Mine didn't. So rather than going digging through my cables, I decided, you know what, I'm not gonna run this on USB. I'm just gonna run it on Wi-Fi, being that it has a 5G Wi-Fi connection. And so that's how I've got this set up right now. So back in the software, you do have to do a couple setups here. So this says process on slats, which is the knife bed. I'm not going to use the knife bed. I'm going to use the honeycomb. So I'm going to select that honeycomb, and we'll run this project right here. The material, we're going to click on that. I'm going to pick plywood, basswood plywood, 3 millimeters thick, and click confirm. And that's it. I won't have to focus it or anything. So I do have a piece of plywood in there. And if at any time you want to see the workspace, way up here at the top, you've got the device manager. So we can click on device manager, and we can start the camera here. So let's go ahead and start the camera. And there you can see, this is the internal camera way up in the front left corner. And this also gives you some information, the name of your machine, the device model, the serial number, what Wi-Fi it's connected to, what firmware, and you can rename this to your shop name just by clicking this little button. You can turn on and off the light right here. So as you see, everything happens in live time there. Let me make this just a little bit bigger. And you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to stick this to the top. So let me do that real quick. This way I can always pull it up whenever I want to see it. And what I'll do is drag it off to the side for now, out of the way. All right, so here's our graphic. When I click on the graphic, let me get this down a little further. You'll see over here are the parameters. Now I'm going to be using plywood. So I'm going to come up here right to this icon. Hang on. Right there, and click on that. And that's going to give me a background showing me the actual plywood as a background. So if I hold control now and roll my mouse wheel, I can zoom in. If I press down on my mouse wheel, I can move it around. So it's best to have a mouse to do this with. So now with this selected, if I come over here where it says effect, this will give me an idea of what this is going to look like on the basswood. So if I bring the power up, you'll see it gets darker. If I bring the power down, you'll see it gets lighter. I really like this live preview. It really helps out a lot. So over here, I'm not going to use the automatic parameters. I'm going to raise my speed up. I think I'm going to raise my speed to 575 millimeters per second. And I'm going to raise my power percentage up to 95, like that. Now, I did change this to percentage because in the device settings themselves, it was set to I can show you real quick. If we go to the device settings, you can set it to wattage, and that's the way it comes from the factory. I don't particularly like that because I don't know what it means. So I selected percentage instead. So I've got this set to percent of power, 95, speed 575. So now what I want to do is I want to cut this fish out as well. So I'm going to grab a rectangle over here. I'm just going to start drawing like this. And that looks pretty good. So I can start moving things around a little bit, move this down, move this one up. And one of the things that I really like about this is that we can move this around and it will show us where the middle is. So that is the perfect, there's a little X right there in the middle. I don't know if you can see it or not, but if I move it, you see I'm moving along the middle. And then if I go up and down, that is the middle of up and down. When the two X's come together, it's perfectly centered around this. So now we've got our fish and we've got our rectangle. Now on the rectangle, it's set to engrave. I'm going to change that to cut. I'm going to use the recommended parameters for cutting. I'm just going to change it by 1. I'm going to reduce it to 14 just to make sure that it cuts completely through. So that would be 840 millimeters per minute. This is in millimeters per second. I really do wish that I could change that to millimeters per minute. I looked up here. So unit here, I can either do millimeters or inches. I can't change it from millimeters per minute to millimeters per second and back and forth. So we're just going to have to deal with that. But we already know that it's 14 times 60. That'd be 840, excuse me. That should be plenty low enough for it to cut through. So on my material tests, you know, I got much higher cut on that. So now we have our cut over here. This is where we select our parameters and it shows us cut and everything's set. We have our engrave over here. It shows us engrave, everything's set. So there are our 2 layers. These are the 2 layers right here. And these are inside here. If I were to ungroup this, there would be more layers for the fish. So right now it's grouped. We're going to leave it the way it is. And we're ready to run the job. So the only thing I have left to do, let me bring this device manager back up so that we can see it. Bring it up here. And the only thing I have left to do now is to hit this process button over here. So one thing I didn't do, oh, I forgot about that. Let me zoom back out over here and let me take a photograph. So let me get this back out of the way for a second. And I'm going to come to this photo icon right here. And this is a snapshot of what's in the laser right now. So I'm going to click snapshot. It's going to show me what is on the bed right now. So oops, I didn't mean to do that. Let me undo. I didn't group these 2 together. So let's go ahead and right click and group them. And now we can move them together. And I think I'm going to put this right about there. And if I use control, hold control and zoom in with my mouse wheel, it gives me a better idea of where this should be. So I'm guessing right about there looks pretty good. So now we can come back over to the camera and bring it up here and maybe even make it a little bit bigger and maybe a little wider so that we can see a little more of it. And I'll just come down over here at the bottom right and hit process. Now, once I hit process, I've got to hit the little button on the front of the machine. So I'll go ahead and do that. And when I do that, you'll see that the laser is going to start moving around. It's going to touch off and go through its focusing process. I really like that it's completely no touch. It's going to come over to the center of the engraving, touch off there and go back. Now it's got the focus measured and it's just going to start the job. And there it goes. You see it's lowering down and it's starting. Now the air compressor just kicked on. I know you probably can't hear it. It kicked on low, and I do have to turn on my fume extraction. So now the built-in fume extractor, the two centrifugal fans that are on the back, has kicked on at a low speed, just enough to keep the smoke out of the machine. And the air assist has kicked on low to keep the lens clean. Now you'll see that this is about a 9-minute job. So right up here, it's going to show you 8 minutes and 55 seconds is the total job. So far it's done 11%, and we're 1 minute in. And this is something that's very unique to this machine. So right now the machine is behind me, and I would have to stand up and look down through the glass at it, but I don't have to now because I can just use this device manager and start the live view. So they are working on an app where you can watch the live view on your phone if you wish, if you don't have a second monitor like I do here. And I can move this off to either monitor. So if you have 2 or 3 monitors, you can put it wherever you want. You can continue working. And one of the things that I like about this software too is if we move this down just a little bit, I can come back in here and continue working on more graphics, just like in Lightburn. Typically these third-party softwares that you get from manufacturers don't allow you to go back. You know, you have to wait for the job to finish before you can get back in the software. But on this one, you can continue working. You can load a whole new project and get it all set up for the next run. So I'm going to actually leave this in live time, so that you can see how long this is going to take. And this is a pretty large job. I really do like the fact that you've got your timer going on over here. So we're 35% finished. We're 3 minutes and 14 seconds into an 8 minute and 55 second job. All right, so I did decide to put this into fast forward. I really didn't think that you'd want to wait the entire 10 minutes or so. But this really, I really love this view here. And I'm going to bring this back down into real time in just a moment. And I'm going to take off the noise filter on this software so that you can hear the air assist change speed, and you can also hear the fans, the centrifugal fans on the back, kick up. And we're running just a little bit over the estimate. We're at a little over 9 minutes right now. And I don't know if you heard all of that happening in the background. The exhaust fan just kicked up to high. The air assist kicked up to high as well. And it's running that cut job now. So we're just about finished. It ran a little bit over the estimate. So the estimate was 8:55 and we're up to 9:40. So a little more than, it estimated a little more than a minute. We'll find out when it finishes the cut. Yeah, about a minute. It was about a minute off. Now you see that the laser goes back to home. It's going to leave everything on high for just a moment until it's completely finished and all the smoke is out. And I'm going to go take this off the laser now. All right, let's come back to the main camera now that we finished that, and let me show you what we wound up with. Now, keep in mind, this is a really large engraving. And if you take a look there, you'll see just how beautiful this engraves. So this is really engraving this sort of like you would expect from an image and not from a raster. So look how beautiful that engraving came out. And the cut came out just as nice. If we take a look on the back, you won't see any flashback on the back. So just a really, really nice job on this vector graphic. Okay, let's talk about some of the functions on this beautiful 7-inch touchpad here. So this is the home screen, and you've got controls down the left side. You've got controls down the right side. I hope this camera is going to stay in focus while I do this. This is the home button over here on the top left. Then you've got the files button. So this is where your files are going to be kept. And up here is external storage. So if you were to plug in a USB drive on the side, you could load any of your files from the USB drive or any of your material tests as well. So let's go back to the home screen. It tells you what the machine is, the acceleration, the speed, the laser, 40 watts. Down here on the bottom left is going to be your settings icon. So when we click on settings across the top, we've got general. So these are all of the general settings here, and this does scroll. So down at the bottom here is contact us. It'll give you their email address, their privacy policy. You can do a factory restore right here from the controller. You can do an auto screen lock if you want. Auto screen off settings. I have mine right now set to 10 minutes. You can set it to 2 minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, or 15 minutes. I'll just confirm that. And then up top here, you've got the function. So in here is the laser brightness, laser power consumption, flame detection, which all of those are on right now, and the device prompt sound and the touch sound when you touch the screen. So if we come back here again, this is the wireless network. If we give that a second, it's going to populate, and you can see that we are connected to the Laser Shop 5G network. And there, right there, is your IP address and your machine address. And on the right side are all the available networks. So we are in wireless only. I don't have any cables running to this machine at all. So if we come back to our settings, in here is device information. So this will tell you everything about your machine. The device name is Hobby Guy, the serial number, the hardware version, the used time, which you can see the time on this one is 46 hours. That's not absolutely accurate. Over here you'll see 5 hours of use time. The 45 hours was the burn in at the factory. So then you've got your air pump information down here. I think that's about it for this one. So we'll go back to home and back to settings again. We have firmware over here, and it shows you the device firmware, the air assist, the air purifier and more versions. So the air purifier is an option that's not yet available. That won't be out until April. So if we click back over here, we've got LAN only. So that's if you're plugged in via USB. We are not right now. This is running on wireless. And then you've got Bluetooth down here. I hit the wrong one. Oh, that was Bluetooth. Okay, so we got Bluetooth and connected devices right now. The only one connected is my air pump. There is another way to get to your air pump. You click the three little dots over here, and then touch air pump, and see right now it's on off. If I were to turn the power on, which I can do right now, I'll just reach over and turn on the power, and then I'll just put that on auto, and then hit confirm. And the blue light on the air pump will go from flashing to auto now. So now it's connected to it. And there are even more settings over here. There are more shortcuts on the right side over there, and everything that you can think of is in here. So really nice setup. And then you have your little shortcuts over on the side. This one over here is going to show you an error log. Right now there are no errors in there, so there's nothing to see. And again, this is a shortcut over here to your air pump. These are all your accessories will be in that little shortcut. So if you have the fire extinguisher or the rotary or anything like that, all of your accessories will populate inside here, and then all you have to do is just tap on that accessory to see the settings for it. And then you can lock the screen over here, and you'll see a new menu comes up. Nobody can fool with it until you actually slide this one down. So you have to grab it and slide it, and that will unlock the machine. So everything that you need to do with this machine to work without a computer, let's say you were just working with a thumb drive with all of your files loaded to the thumb drive, then everything could be done right from here. So right now I've got my last job is stored on here, and I can click on that and it shows me this is a photo test. It's untitled because I loaded it before I saved it, but it's being run at 40 watts, and then below that shows you the size, 170 by 195 millimeters. Below that shows that it is 3mm basswood. It took 12 minutes to run this entire job, and below that is the date of the job. So I can completely rerun this job again if I wanted to, but I don't want to. So we're going to get back out of that. And then again, your external storage and your material testing is in here if you want to load it from your thumb drive. So there you go. That's the LCD controller in a nutshell, or the LED controller, or whatever type of screen this is. It's a full color screen. All right, so let's sum this all up. Let's just do a summary now on this machine, and we'll cover all of the features. So this machine comes in 3 different power levels. You've got 20 watt, 40 watt, and 60 watt. And it starts at $17.49, I believe, right now during this holiday sale up until January 5th. I also have a coupon code down below in the description if you want to get an additional discount on it. The 20 watt and the 40 watt both have the same spot size for people that are interested in that, which is very important. That's 0.08 by 0.1 millimeters. The 60 watt is slightly bigger, 0.08 by 0.16. The working speed on this is 600 millimeters per second. And what really makes this laser stand out is the acceleration. The area where it turns off, slows down, turns around, comes back, turns on. That's very, very important. You can cut your job time by at least 1/3 or more, and that is 20,000 millimeters per second squared. So you're sort of on par with a big commercial type CO2 laser. The maximum cutting capacity on this is about 20 millimeters or so, and you can use any type of positioning that you like. You can use the camera to position it. You can move the laser head by hand and use the crosshairs to get a perfect positioning. Any way that you like to position your material, you can use jigs and so forth. You've got the autofocus. You have the dual 8 megapixel cameras in the lid, and plus you have a third camera that you can monitor the job from. The camera that's up in the front corner is 480p at 30 frames per second, and you can use that for both monitoring and recording. Now, they are working on those features right now, and there will also be a remote app that you can also view it from. On the wireless, you've got 2.4G and you've got 5G, and then there's the Bluetooth 5.2, and that's for your air pump and air purifier. The connections on this are USB, Wi-Fi, and local area connection. So you can do a LAN only connection on this. You can run everything through your router. You don't necessarily have to use any type of USB connection. Right now, I am running the one that I have here strictly on Bluetooth on the 5.2G network. The operating systems that it supports are Windows 10 and up and Mac OS. The software right now, I'm going to say Alienspace is the way to go. While they're still developing Lightburn, it does work in Lightburn right now. It's a little finicky, but they are working on that. The power on this is anywhere from 100 to 240 volts, so you can use it anywhere in the world, and 50 to 60 hertz. The wattage on this machine is 350 watts. The overall size is going to be 35.5 by 31 by about 8.5 high, and you'll want to leave a little extra room on the side for your air assist should you order the air assist. You don't necessarily need to use their air assist because you can plug in your air assist from your compressor. Nice feature there. In the box, what you get is on the base model, you're going to get the Aliencell laser, you're going to get one module, you're going to get the knife bed, you're going to get the fume extractor, the smoke exhaust for the back, which is reversible. You're going to get the pipe that screws into that. You're going to get 4 material hold down clamps, and you can pull the clamps out. If you order the honeycomb, you can use one part in the honeycomb, or you can put them together and use them with the knife bed. You'll also get some Allen wrenches. You'll get 2 keys for the machine, 2 lock keys, so you can put one in a safe place and put one in the machine. You're going to get 2 extra lenses that come with this, the power cable, the USB cable, a parts storage box, the user manual, a material pack. It's going to give you the starter materials and some laser protective glasses. So to cover some of the prices, the 20 watt is now $17.49, and that is the base model. The 40 watt right now is on sale for $18.99. And then if you choose the 60 watt, that one is $24.99. Now, all of these are on sale until January 5th. And like I said, there is a coupon code down below the video where you can get an additional discount on this. So to cover the accessories real quickly, you've got the honeycomb panel. All the accessories are on sale right now as well. You've got the Air Assist Pro, which is a 14.5 PSI air compressor, the air purifier, the handheld vacuum, and the fire extinguisher, the automatic fire extinguisher. All of these are on sale right now, and not all of them are available at this moment. Right now, the honeycomb is available. The air assist is available. As of January, the only options available are the air assist and the honeycomb. but the rest of the options are going to be coming in just a few months. They do have a wiki page that's up that can answer just about all of your questions, which is kind of unusual for a new company to have, answers to all of your questions. So anything that you need to know about, whether it's how to use the air assist or the air purifier or the honeycomb or the fire extinguisher, there's troubleshooting. Everything you can imagine is on their wiki page already. So that's gives you a good start. And I am really happy with this. This is going to be the laser to watch for 2026. And this is going to be the laser that people are going to start trying to copy. So if you're interested in learning more about it, I've got an affiliate link down in the description that you can follow. There's also a coupon that's good until January 5th to get you an additional discount off of the sale prices. And that's about it as far as the summary goes. So now we've got everything covered. I'm sorry it was such a long video today, but I did want to get in as much information as I possibly could based on all the testing that I've done with this machine so far. Gets a big thumbs up. It's going to be my recommended machine for sure for 2026 as far as diode lasers go. I know this has been a long video. For those of you that have stood around till the end, I want to say thank you so much. I really appreciate it. And I just hope that you enjoyed this video as much as I enjoyed making it for you. So as always, I want to thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.